We're live? All right, here we are. After a few minor technical difficulties, we are live here. We are coming to you from the Leveling Up podcast live at Mohawk Valley Wellness. I have two lovely gentlemen to my left and right.
There's
of course.
only one.
I was going to say I have $1 for every time I was called lovely. I'd have $0.
So to my left is John Bartholomew, owner of Mohawk Valley Wellness, and of course Anthony Z. Donaldson from Disruption Network is here with me. So normally on the show, we are going through and interviewing chamber members to talk about how they've leveled up in their life to get where they are in their career. So we are talking about business today and business supporting business, but we are here for a whole nother reason to celebrate and support our good friend Brian Donovan at the ChefStrong workout here at Mohawk Valley Wellness. So I'm going to let John tell you guys what's going on today, but really today is all about supporting our friend Brian Donovan. We're going to have some people on to share some positive messages of encouragement for him. He was diagnosed with a brain tumor and underwent surgery a couple weeks ago. So he is here with his family this morning and doing good, and we're so happy to see him here with us to celebrate. So John, tell us a little bit about what's going on here today. And we're sweaty. Well, You did it this morning, right?
I did it nice and early. Got it out of the way.
I hopped in for a couple rounds with my husband. So tell us what we have going on this morning.
So quick backstory is obviously Brian has been a very good friend of mine for the last coming up on 9 years. He's been a member for a long time. We work hand in hand with his business and my business. So I have obviously a long relationship with Brian. And maybe 3 weeks, maybe a little bit over 3 weeks ago, we were actually in this facility and we were just chatting, having coffee. And then about 2 hours later, I get a phone call that he was in the emergency room, that he had had a seizure completely out of the blue, and that he was at the hospital. So I left and drove up there. And at that point, we didn't really know what was going on, right? We thought maybe it was stress-related. We thought maybe it was a massive headache, and it caused that. And we really didn't know what was going on at that point, which is obviously very scary. And then as the next day or two progressed, we were made aware, Brian was made aware, and then let me know that he actually had a tumor on the front of his brain, right? Which for anybody is extremely scary, and is nobody wants to hear that or have that happen.
No.
So we've done lots of different things in our facility over the last 9 years to give back to the community. That's one of the things that we really pride ourselves on, is that yes, we're a gym and we get people in shape. That's awesome. That's what we do. But our impact outside of these four walls is something that we always try to really drive to the community, to help others, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So Brian had asked and said, can we do something, in the near future, just to kind of make people aware of it, and also to help his family out, right? They had to travel down to New York City. They had to incur unexpected costs, and I said I would absolutely love to. It's our bread and butter. We love doing this stuff. So what you're seeing, what's behind us, in front of us, and all around us is probably right now there's 40 to 50 people. This is a second heat that are coming in on this super warm Saturday and working out. They're putting in a 15, 20-minute workout. They're either skiing and doing burpees, or rowing and doing burpees, or biking and doing burpees. And the big piece of it, like I had said, each time we start a heat, I'm speaking to all the athletes and saying, we thank you for coming out and putting this effort in, because it is building and supporting community through fitness, right? To see men and women come out on a day where it's -5 degrees and donate and come and say hi to Brian. And like you said, even if it's just words of encouragement, of saying, hey, look, Brian, we're here for you. What do you need? I think is really, really important for Brian right now. And then just for the community itself to kind of see that if something happens, we try to do what we can to help each other out and take care of each other. So You're just seeing the workout piece of it now. We have the raffles and everything else that goes with it, but it's really cool to see it come together.
It's awesome. And, John does such a great job at putting these things. Oh, sorry. At putting these things together. And, like you said, there's a lot of people here. And I think Todd might have some shots of people working out here. So we're in a room that's kind of off the main room, but people are rowing, skiing, burpees. If you've never done them, hopefully Todd can get a shot of somebody doing one. But you're all the way down on the ground using the strength of your body to pull yourself back up. Complete cardio movement along with the skiing and rowing, and some are even biking, which is my nemesis. I can't stand the bike. So John mentioned we also have basket raffles. So if you guys are home, I know it's cold out, but come on. Everybody has car starters these days, right? Throw on your car starter. Come down to Mohawk Valley Wellness. We're here on River Road in Marcy. It's the old Marcy carpet tile, Marcy Carpet Tile. So right here on River Road, right down the street from Riverside Diner, who, by the way, donated breakfast this morning. So you can come in, make a donation, grab some breakfast. There's 50-50. We have 40 different baskets. They're coming in as we speak. All different basket items that you can purchase tickets and raffle off. We will be doing that all morning. We're doing that drawing at 10:30.
Yes.
So let's see. It is only 9:38. So you have plenty of time to get down here and make sure that you again make a donation and check out these baskets. So there is no excuse to not come down. You don't have to work out. You can come down again, share some positive words of encouragement with Brian. I guarantee you probably know somebody here. There is so many people. Either working out, eating breakfast, doing the raffles. So make sure you stop down. And again, it's super central location. It's for a great cause. So we hope you can come down and join us. And who knows? Maybe you'll see like what you see, people getting tortured here. And maybe you'll hit up John and say, "Hey, John, I want you to put a smile on my face too. Get my butt in shape and get on one of those rowers and skiers."
This kind of looks like it could be fun. Yeah. Maybe it could be fun. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Z's ready.
So how did we not start this conversation without a joke?
I don't know.
How did this conversation not start without a joke?
I know.
For those that don't know, John is like the joke man, if you will. He's always got some kind of one-liner, some kind of funny joke.
I think it's my mind was elsewhere because last night I kept getting these phone calls. The same lady kept calling me. She said, "John, I've been all over your website. How many do I get?" And I said, "How many do you get what?" She said, "How many do I get?" She said, "It's all over your website. It says free weights."
Well, there you go. You heard a joke from John. So John was my first guest, our second episode ever of the podcast, and John was my first guest. And I have to say, John, we forgot to cover something when you were on the show.
What was that?
We did a little fact about you ahead of time promoting the show, and we said, find out why John takes a cold shower every day. So tell us why you take a cold shower every day, because I think some people were dying to know that.
So I do it there's a couple different reasons. The first one is I'm a firm believer of you have to do things that make you uncomfortable, right? In order to be successful, and we could spend 4 hours talking about this, right? In order to be successful in almost any endeavor, you have to do something that's slightly uncomfortable, right? Exercise, we look around this room.
Yep.
The men and women, we can't hide it. They're slightly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They're biking, they're skiing, they're slightly uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
So by starting my day off every day for probably the last 3 years with a cold shower, I have to consciously choose to do something that I know is not going to be super enjoyable, right? So for me, that's a big part of what helps me stay focused and move in the right direction with things. Another piece of it is I don't know if you want to say science, but there's a lot of, we'll say, data behind cold exposure and boosting your immune system. Knock on this plastic table, I don't get sick very often. It's been years.
Yeah.
It's been years, right? So the boost of the immune system. Here's a little one that most people don't know, is it can actually help you burn fat. There's white fat and brown fat. And brown fat you can stimulate through cold, and it'll actually help burn that. So there's a lot of different reasons why I do that. But the biggest one, to be honest, is starting my day off and saying, okay, I'm going to do something today that is going to be challenging. And after a while, you kind of get used to it. Uncomfortable, and being okay with that, right? Because in order to see success in other things, you're going to have to deal with things that make you uncomfortable. And if you just always avoid that, it's very hard to get to where you want to be. And I always like to talk about success, but I think the path to success, whether it be in a gym with nutrition and fitness, whether it be marriage, whether it be finances, whether it be business, the underlying principles tend to be the same. They tend to be the same. So that was something that somebody had talked about it. There's a book I read, if you really like talking about cold. It's called If It Doesn't Kill You, and it's by Wim Hof.
Okay.
Which this guy holds world records for swimming underneath ice. And every time I say this, people don't believe me. He climbs mountains in shorts and no shirt.
Wow.
That's crazy.
2 steps below Everest. Look it up. Google Wim Hof.
Wow.
And he has taught his body to be okay with the cold.
Adapt to it.
And then the really interesting thing was he said, okay, if I can teach myself to do this, can I take average Joe and average Jane and do the same thing? And he did. He took these men and women, 12 at a time, up these mountains, not hills. I'm not talking about all of this hill, up mountains.
That's wild.
In bathing suits.
My God.
You look it up. It's
making me cold. I was sweating until
insane.
John started telling the story.
It's really, really interesting stuff. He's a interesting character, but
wow.
that was the book that maybe about three years ago kind of made my wheels spin a little differently about the cold. But then again, like I said, the whole piece of just challenging yourself and being okay and doing it every single day.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, so it does tie into this morning, right?
Yeah.
Because John's telling you right here, you can boost your immune system by being out in the cold, a.k.a. get out of bed. You're comfortable right now. Get uncomfortable. Of course, Brian's going through some uncomfortable times, so there's no excuse for getting out in the cold and coming down here, getting out of your comfort zone, supporting something awesome. So we hope you guys will come down. And John, that is so interesting. Now we all have to go home, take a cold shower.
What's the time range on your showers usually?
So, there's different days I'll do the whole entire thing cold, but usually, especially with the temperature in upstate New York now, I will shave and wash with warm water, hot water.
And then blast yourself. I do that actually.
And then at the very tail end, I'll just go to straight cold water, and usually 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
But the interesting thing about it is, after a while, it does become a little bit easier, just like fitness and exercise, just like all these different things. So as humans, we're designed. It's actually a self-preservation mechanism as humans to avoid discomfort. But we've done it so much in our society that it's actually become counterproductive.
Yeah.
Right? We avoid discomfort at every turn, right? Every turn we avoid discomfort. But most things, once we do this thing that we thought was so uncomfortable, usually on the back end, you're happy that you did it. Like we look at these men and women that are working out right now, and they have these looks of pain and anguish on their face. But I promise, when they're done 5 or 10 minutes later, you ask them how it was. They say, "Oh, it was tough, but I'm very glad I did it."
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And that's again applicable not only to a gym and fitness and things along those lines. It's applicable to almost any area of life.
Yeah.
Hey, it was challenging. Like think about somebody that got a degree, right? Hey, I had to really hit the books hard. I was studying all night, and then they finally have that achievement. And they say, you know what, that hard work, that uncomfortable, that struggle was worth it.
It paid off.
Same thing running a business. Hey, it's hard. There's challenges all the time, but if you don't go towards those challenges and you just give up, then you don't get to see that piece.
Yeah, definitely. Cool.
What a great community
I love
you created
it.
here, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is
not just
unreal.
besides the whole fundraiser that's going on today, but you could see the unity amongst all the members of your gym here, and it feels like a family in here.
Yeah, and some new faces, too.
Yep.
Not like this guy over here. Well, John, this is such an awesome event. We're going to grab some other people to come on. But like we said to y'all, come down River Road in Marcy. We're going to be here until 11 o'clock. You have until 10:30 to come down and do the basket raffles in a 50-50. But you definitely can come down until 11 o'clock. There's still heats left, too, if you want to work out. You have
you could do it twice if you wanted to.
You could really do it twice if you really want to get your Saturday started off with a bang. So you can come down at, let's see, we'll check the time again. So it's 9:46. I mean, most people in the surrounding Utica areas even have time to get here by 10 o'clock to get in that heat.
You can get here from Syracuse. It's got to go 90.
So come down. You can either do the heat, do the baskets, or you can just come in and make a small donation. Every little bit helps out the Donovan family, and they are here, and it's just they're such an awesome family, and to see them here smiling and in such good spirits, I think it warms all of our hearts. So
it is awesome.
You guys should definitely come down and check it out. If you don't make it down tonight, though, there is a ChefStrong page on Facebook. You can go ahead and follow that, too, if you want updates on how Brian is doing and how their family's doing. They've been posting updates. There's ways to donate on that page as well. So if you can't make it down, don't worry. There's still other ways to get involved. And, of course, you can always stop down and see John for all of your fitness needs.
And great jokes.
Yeah, and great jokes. Really, the jokes are number one. The fitness is number two, right, John? There's the man right here. Steve Karbowski has just rolled in.
I found your next guest.
Yeah, rolled in out of bed.
He looks like the millennial Kramer.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll get Ryan on here and let Steve take
wake
a couple minutes to wake
Let
up.
him wake up.
I'm pretty sure he is unawake right now.
Hilarious.
So we'll get Ryan on, and we'll let John get back to work because he's got to get a new heat started here in a couple minutes.
Yes,
but
ma'am.
Thanks again, John, for doing this and for
Absolutely.
being here. Any final messages to Brian before you head out?
No, just know that you have a massive community that wants nothing but the best for you and is willing to help you out any way that we can.
Yeah. Awesome.
He's a beautiful man. John, you're a great man. You're a
He's
gem
a
in our
lovely and
community.
beautiful man. Oh, wait,
He
Jen
really
wants a
is.
picture with the headphones on. We were teasing that. We'll smile for Jen quick.
No, he's doing great things in the community, and he's a gem.
Good.
That's for sure.
Yeah, we're teasing that. We don't know if we're doing a podcast or if we're sports commentators
Yeah,
here.
right.
We can literally really make everybody have a really tough time and call out how they're doing on all the skiers.
I will
here.
say John has the pitchman hands down, so when
Yeah.
he talks, it's like
Yeah.
this. He's got it down, so you're
We
perfect
got
for
people over
play-by-play
here. We got
commentator.
people over there. Ryan, you want to hop on?
He can't hear you. He's not listening to you.
I know. Only people in headphones. You want to come over? All right. I think we're going to get Sir Ryan McGrogan on here.
So many great friends here, too.
Yeah.
I bumping into a lot of people that I know, and it's
Yeah.
really cool. It's a nice community that's going on here at Mohawk Valley Wellness.
Yeah, I mean, something that's so unique about the gym. So Ryan McGrogan, owner of McGrogan Design.
Please
also,
don't refer to him as your lovely husband.
We know I love to call all the gentlemen in my life lovely, so I have to call Ryan lovely too. So, the cool thing about it, the community here too, like I said, if you come down, you're probably going to know somebody. I mean, here we have Ed Noonan from the UPD Police Department. We have Chief Ingersoll is here. I mean, there's so many different people in the community that work out at this gym that are also good friends of Brian and supportive of the entire community. So Ryan is also a good friend of Brian's, and he did a beautiful post yesterday about Brian and about the workout here today. So Ryan, tell us your relationship with Brian and how long you've known him. And I know we've talked a little bit about it being the ChefStrong event. A lot of people might not know if you're watching for the first time or you're just hearing about Brian. He is the owner of the Balanced Chef. They do healthy prepared meals that make really meal prep a no-brainer, and they're delicious.
They are very good. The buffalo chicken.
Oh, it's our favorite.
Ridiculous.
And the turkey taco bowls, another one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So Ryan, you've really been with Brian from the beginning, from the start of his business. So
Yeah. He came to me. I don't know how long he's been in business, like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
He came to me. He's like, I need a logo. I'm calling this idea of the Balanced Chef, and it was the same concept that he has still. It's the prepared meals. And he's like, I need a logo. I want like a chef balancing on a rolling pin, and he needs to be holding a weight in one hand and a knife in the other hand, and I want him to be the Balanced Chef. And I was like, that sounds neat, but I don't think that's gonna like work too well. So I was like, let me just try something out. And oh, hi.
Okay, we're getting together for a photo.
So anyway, I sent Brian the logo back, and it's like, dude, nailed it. Like, and that's like on my website as a testimonial saying like, I gave him direction, and he completely did not do what I asked him to, and I'm so glad that he didn't.
Yeah.
But that was like 7 years ago, and Brian is actually a part of the reason why I got fired from a previous job. So that's why I thanked Brian yesterday in that post, saying like my business probably wouldn't be where it was.
Now we get the real story why.
It was him and a couple other John being one, my buddy Jared. But yeah, I got found out that I was freelancing, and Brian was part of it. I remember my boss at the time was like, "What's the Balanced Chef? Where is this? Like, why? You obviously made this. Why didn't you? Whatever."
Little did everybody know you're doing it for free meals and T-shirts.
Yeah, it really wasn't worth getting fired over. It was. I literally think it was trade at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that led me to.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, you heard about it.
I didn't see the income. I'm kidding.
So then that job ended partly because of Brian, and then that led me to another job.
Yeah.
And then that eventually led to another job. So like as cheesy as it is, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But,
Yep.
hey, if I didn't know Brian from knowing John and all this, everything could be completely different. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, Ryan and I are, it does sound cheesy, but we say all the time that this place really has changed our life.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't mean that like just to say like, oh God, it's life-changing, like you should try it. I mean, literally, this gym and this community has changed our lives. I mean, when we had our son Peter, and Z, you know the story too, we had a pretty rough time when Peter was born. And I really was just looking, Ryan had the relationship with John and with Brian already, and obviously I knew them as acquaintances. But when we started coming to the gym after that happened, I really just needed a way to get back in shape and really just kind of take some stress off. And coming here, I was so intimidated. And, let's just get this out there wide open. Everybody is intimidated when they go to a gym for the first time. Like literally anyone. You could be a bodybuilder, and I think if you walk into some place for the first time in a community that you don't know, it's kind of uncomfortable.
Sure.
So I came in, and everybody welcomed us with open arms here, and it's such a great community. I think one of the first things that we did probably was a group workout like this for the American Heart Association. They had a big thing going on. So I just started going to the gym, came to an event like this. And really, John and Brian, have been super just welcoming and always friendly faces. As a matter of fact, Brian encouraged me to start this podcast.
Yeah.
We were talking about it and always sharing business things with Brian. And Ryan and I had a chance to work with him together for his place in Rome that he's opening up. And, it's just such an awesome community. And so when you start adding all these things up, you start adding up the relationships, you start adding up the fact that we can share business things together and share things that are going on and offer each other words of encouragement or maybe connections or, putting people in touch. In the motivation that came from coming in here and having people, and, John is the gym owner, but people like Brian and other people that are here and they're watching you work out and they're cheering you on, they're encouraging you. It just makes you feel like you can leave here and then you're encouraged in other parts of your life, too. So it really is life-changing. And then when something happens like this, to see the whole community come together to support Brian and Cynthia and their family, it's just, I think it's the coolest thing ever.
Oh,
and it makes you feel like, you really can do anything when you have a community of support behind you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anything else you want to share, Ryan, about Brian? Or want to say any words of encouragement to Brian?
Oh, boy. I'm not good on the spot.
Putting you on the spot.
No, Brian's amazing. He has a good energy about him all the time. He offers, business advice. He's just a good person to talk to about anything. Just shooting the shit. He's always just kind of hanging out. Always has a good attitude. Obviously what is happening or happened to him is awful. But it couldn't happen to a person who has a more positive outlook on things. So
for sure.
He'll be just fine. I don't know. That's my dude.
Yeah.
That's the chef, man. He's great.
And now you can't get fired from your job for Brian's reason. So Brian you have to keep Brian in business here because
I know.
we got to keep it going. So.
This would be a good time to thank your employer. Rather.
I know. Yeah. I know.
It'd be a good time to give him
Yeah,
a shout
right.
out.
I always do. I always say I'm glad I got fired, and people be like, "What?" But it's true.
Well, sometimes it just things lead to bigger things and lead to better things. So, and not that you didn't love your job, but think everything does happen for a reason. I do truly believe that. And as Brian has said, and his outlook on this whole thing is, he has been sent here to endure this and to kind of come out with this positive message on it. And I think that is the most awesome attitude to have because so many people would just take this news and just shut down and not react. He has. So Brian gives me hope. He gives all of us hope that, you can thing and have the support system and be positive and trust in God and I think that's awesome. Sure. So
did you tell everyone how they can they still have time to come down?
Yes, you do still have time.
Money.
So we're going to give you a time update if anybody's tuning in. So it's 9:56.
Pancakes are still hot.
Unless you're at Riverside Diner eating breakfast, you probably can't get here for the 10 o'clock heat. But you do have plenty of time to come down and do the raffle baskets, grab some breakfast. Hey, Mel. Mel's going to come over, right? Will you come over? Yeah. So we're
got
gonna
these all sweaty for you.
we're gonna get
Yeah,
Mel Bradley on here too, and maybe even Will Bradley for Bradley and Bradley Real Estate, also great friends of the chef and their family. So we're gonna try to get Mel over here. Thank you, Ryan. Can you grab Cynthia and Brian? Just let Cynthia know to come over. So we're gonna hopefully I think get Cynthia and or Brian on the show as well to say a few words. So, again, we have an awesome community going on here. Z, what do you think? This is, really only your second time in the gym.
I think it's hilarious you got your husband as a producer right now. It's like, hey, can you go find such and such and such and such? You know what else I think? I would love to be Steve Karbowski for 24 hours. Just to wake up in Steve Karbowski world, be him for a complete 24 hours just to see what goes on in that head, and then wake up the next day and be me all
I
over
should have
again.
brought music because I keep getting asked to play songs.
Oh,
over here. I think everybody thinks I'm the DJ.
Todd's
so
the
just
DJ.
Can you play Uptown Funk?
Yeah.
What else do we
Hilarious.
need? What's a good? We need Sandman, or what's the Enter Sandman?
Enter Sandman. There you go.
That's it. That's when your next guest comes in.
Can
We'll
we
play
get
some
my
theme
pump
music.
jam on?
What is your pump jam? Like when you come here to work out, what music
Oh
are you
God!
listening
Well, Coach Peyton LaRue is our #1 coach.
Okay.
Sorry to everybody else, but Peyton just happens to be our boy that's here all the time at 11 o'clock. And let's see, it's usually a bro workout. I'm often one of the few females at that class, so we usually do a bro remix. You know, they have a whole bunch of different songs that they play, and I just kind of go with the flow.
to? Okay.
But
So
my favorite
are you
workout
allowed to
music,
bring your own though?
No,
No? You gotta
the
listen to
coaches
whatever's
do
in the
it. Let's see, my favorite to work out to though is Queen.
Queen.
So, Steve, are you working out, or you want to come talk for a minute?
I tell you, it's the millennial Kramer, and you'll
Come
figure.
here.
Come on,
Come
sit
here.
down.
Come on.
Come, please.
We
sit
got to
down.
get Steve Karbowski in here for a second.
Right.
Because the
There
hair
he
is
is.
just wild.
I love it, man. Mushroom head over here. I like it. And we're back. And we're back. How are you, buddy? Good
What's
to
up,
see you.
big dog?
You know, I just told everybody I want to be you for 24 hours. Just be
boy.
in your brain, in your head, in your body for
You can't
24
handle it.
hours. See
You
what
can't
goes
handle
on in there, and then wake up the next day and become me again.
The other day at 5 a.m., John came in. He was like, "Oh yeah, hey Steve, how's it going?" You know, and he's perfectly coiffed here, and I'm rolled out of bed late. And they're like, "Oh, you're late to class." And you're
John
lucky I'm
started
here.
his day 3
Yeah,
hours before
exactly.
this.
Like, you're lucky I'm here. He's like, I was with someone the other day, and they said Steve Karbowski is a walking, talking 5-hour energy drink.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
that's
Whoever that is,
accurate.
thank you. Ingenious, right?
So Travis Revers from Delta by Marriott is over here doing the time
Yeah.
to
He's like, "Come
Steve.
on,
So
yeah."
we know we only have you for a few minutes, but Steve, I wanted to bring you on because you are newer to the facility here. And so, is this your first workout event for like a benefit or a charity?
for a charity or cause.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, what do you think so far walking in this
It's-
morning?
Even though I am new here, you do know a lot of people.
Yep.
You feel right at home, and the fact that everybody is, supporting this, this great cause,
Mm-hmm.
for Chef. There's no judgment. We're like, hey, let's get on a skier and a rower and do burpees for 25 minutes and sweat and have fun.
Yeah.
And then let's go and hang out and whatever. I mean, it's fantastic, and hats off to John and Jen and everybody here. It's just awesome. And,
That's great.
Megan, great job for everything you've done and
Thank
helped
you,
support
yeah.
this.
Yeah,
thank
we
you
would do it
guys for being
anytime.
here. That's really great. It's really fantastic.
Okay, well, go work out.
Yeah.
Go get your
Do you wanna
workout
get
on.
Brian in?
There's a handsome
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, let's
staring
get him
at
in
me.
here. He
All
can
right,
have mine.
we're
A
going to
handsome
get
man
Brian in
staring
here
at me.
to say a few words. So thanks, Steve, and good luck. Good luck on those burpees, man. Hey, I think Steve should work out like right here. So
Oh,
we
please.
get
Can Karbowski work out in front of us?
So for those of you who don't know, you might be watching, whether you're supporting the chef or you're just used to seeing the show from the chamber. But Steve Karbowski is also on our Catalyst
Right, man.
Young Professionals group, so we had to get him on to break his chops. All right, the man of the hour is here. Can we put this on you, Brian? All right, we're going to get Brian on here to say a couple words. What? All right, so we're getting ready to go with the third heat
You got
here at
left
10
alone.
o'clock. You put those on, okay? All right, so we have the ChefStrong, Brian Donovan here on the podcast. So, Brian, how are you doing this morning?
All things considered, I'm doing very well.
That's great, and he's got his Utica coffee, so we know he's in good shape there. So, Brian, I know this has been quite a whirlwind for you for the past couple weeks here.
Yeah, it's still pretty surreal. Happened 3 weeks ago on Thursday, but it seems like a lifetime ago. And just all things considered, fortunate enough to be 4 hours away from New York City, having the best doctors in the world, arguably. Got to pick and choose who I wanted. They were all confident with the procedure. What I had for what happened to me is kind of the best case if you were to have a brain tumor, just located in the right spot, popped it right out. Said 3 hour surgery, 3-day recovery, 3 weeks I can start getting back into my normal schedule. So
That's
everything they
awesome.
said has been true.
That's so amazing. I mean, how far medicine has come to deal with something like, and just it's unreal that they're able to do that. And you're, like you said, very fortunate to be so close to such a great hospital to be dealing with this. And you have a supportive community around you here, as you can see this morning, which is amazing. So we talked a little bit about, so we had Ryan on and we had John on, so we talked a little bit about, what's transpired in the past couple weeks, everything about your business. And Ryan was sharing that really you're the reason he got fired from his job and led him to starting his business. So he'll be eternally grateful to you for that. But you have this great business, The Balanced Chef. You've been in the community for, how long have you been in business with The Balanced Chef?
The Balanced Chef actually turns 5 in March,
Okay.
so we're right around the corner.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So you do the prepared meals, you're opening the location in Rome, so you have a great business model, but I think the cool thing here is to see other businesses supporting you in business as well. And of course we do that all the time, but of course Ed Newton's popping his head in here. So to see other businesses be supporting you, like John, and having this community come together and have an event like this, I think is so awesome. Is there anything, like, what do you need from support from people? Anything that you...
Absolutely nothing.
Yep.
The continued prayers, if anything.
Yep.
The support has been overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I always knew the community was big and strong, but when something kind of happens to you, I know it sounds selfish.
Yeah.
You don't really realize it.
Yeah.
I've always given back where I could. To me, it just kind of comes second nature. Always ask, if someone has some ailment in their life or something's going on with a family member. I genuinely care, so I always ask questions. But now that it's come back to me, it's, I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah.
I've always believed, in self-healing, positive thinking, doing what you can, that you can control. What happened to me, I could not control.
Yep.
Anything in my life prior didn't contribute to this. I still, however, believe, proper sleep, hydration, eating as natural as possible will definitely help you prolong life and longevity.
Sure.
But this has really made me realize, don't get anything for granted. I have 2 kids at home, and if, they're crying and sometimes I let that bother me, completely different now.
Yeah.
I'm almost appreciative of it.
Yep.
So it's given me a new outlook on life and just being more appreciative.
Yeah, it's so wild. I mean, like, just the perspective that you have, and I was complimenting you earlier on how I think you and Cynthia have been handling this. I think it's just such an inspiration because, so many people would take this and say, like, oh, this is just like a terrible situation, like you feel down on yourself, but you have always been a positive person, and I would expect nothing less for you than to continue being positive. But I just think that is so awesome that you do everything that you can. And like you said, some things are just out of your control. But what you can control is how you handle things and how you put yourself out there in the community, how you always are doing great things for people. And like you said, you've always been doing that. And so now it's time to come back to you. And, I think it's so awesome to see everybody out here tonight. And, we just want to keep supporting you in whatever way that we can. So I think that it's great to see that the community's coming out. You guys have what's coming up for you now? I know you've been putting updates on the ChefStrong page.
Yeah. So in terms of my health standpoint, what's going on, we just got the pathology reports back on Tuesday. Going into it, there was a 5% chance that it could have been cancer.
Okay.
And that has been ruled out.
That's
not
awesome.
Not 100%. And I guess it takes another 4 to 6 weeks after they officially remove the tumor to get a better report from it.
Okay.
But even if it was cancerous, where it is located is very treatable.
That's awesome.
So whether I would need to have surgery again in the future or chemotherapy, that's not off the table. But kind of as you mentioned, I've always had a positive mindset. So if that's my reality, that's my reality.
Yep.
I had a conversation with my mother, and she was getting very emotional because it's her baby boy.
Yeah, of
All this
course.
has happened to him. But I've never felt stronger, and when I just accept this as my reality, and I just have to deal with it the way I can. So. My wife, my mother, the family members, they are suffering a lot more than I am, just mentally as they should. I'm not saying it as a knock to them because, everyone's life has changed around. And as I said, nothing I did before in my life contributed to this. So it really makes you think, just appreciate what you have, slow down. I think it's a coincidence, not a coincidence. The Balanced Chef is my company. It's take life with balance. Have some fun, but if you're gonna go out, you don't need to drink a whole bottle of wine. Well, if you do, you do. But you can still have fun.
So you're saying that was a bad idea last time?
Well, it depends how you feel today. But to that, the morning that I woke up, and this whole happened, I woke up with a headache like I've never had before. And I wouldn't say I knew something was off, but I knew this was a different type of headache.
Yeah.
You know, I've had fun nights before, you know, or lack of water, and you know, it was pounded. So, you know, the first thing, which probably wasn't the smartest thing to do when I woke up, was have a cup of coffee, which dehydrates you more.
Yeah.
So I had a cup of coffee, and it wasn't going away. So then I found pounding water, a lot of water. Still wasn't going away. So I had some meetings going on. Thankfully, I was actually supposed to be in the car when this happened.
Wow.
I was supposed to go to Ocean Blue for a meeting, and the person with Cosmina Labella, she said, why don't we just do the meeting over the phone?
Yeah.
So that's what I did. Had the meeting over the phone, and at 10:33, I was checking a daily sales report at Par Technology, where we operate their cafeteria, and I guess that's the moment when, you know, I started having a seizure. Thankfully, my
Crazy.
guardian angel, Tracy Garrett, who runs the, her and Tony run the show over at Par, the cafeteria, she was there, and I believe she has someone in her family with epilepsy, so she knew immediately what I was having. But, you know, I'm a bigger guy. She's a smaller girl.
Chills,
All my weight just went right down on her.
Oh, wow.
But there, you know, the staff there at Par is absolutely amazing. Hopefully, you know, Dave Middleman was there as well. I guess it took, you know, me down because it's the adrenaline.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't understand what was happening. I remember coming in and out of it. I'm looking around and I'm seeing people, and it was just like a dream. They're like, Brian, it's okay. Calm down. Calm down.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was going on. So, you know, I kind of flashed in and out.
Yeah.
The next thing I remember, I was at St. Luke's Hospital, and, you know, even the care up there, I apologized to the nurses one day. I got a little attitude because I was just agitated with all the medication.
Yeah.
But the staff there was absolutely amazing. The staff in New York City was amazing. The hotel in New York City, absolutely amazing. I couldn't find something to complain about. I'm just grateful that, you know, I was in good hands.
Yeah, I mean, and just you know, I mean, you know, I have strong faith in God, and I'm very, very strong in that. I pray all the time. I mean, and just having that. I mean, what are the chances that somebody's there next to you that knows how to handle a seizure? You know, and I just think these things work in very mysterious ways.
That's where faith comes in.
I mean, and that to me is just so wild. I mean, you know, there have been things that have happened to us in my life where the same thing. It's like, you know, I mean, here we have a premature baby, and my aunt is a NICU nurse of 40 plus years. I mean, it's wild how things happen that way.
Yep.
And I really think that you know, if there was stars aligning in a scenario like this, it seems like it has.
Yeah,
for you.
it couldn't have been better. You know, just the people that were there. You know, the fact that I was supposed to be in the car, but somehow Cosmina said, you know, let's just do the meeting over the phone. And I'm a pretty stubborn person, and but something told me, let's just do it over the phone.
Yep.
The fact that I went down and I'm in Tracy, you know, someone who I've been working with forever, knew what was going on, and, you know, she was able to catch me and hold my head and make sure that I'm not choking.
So
and then,
crazy.
you know, the staff at Par and, you know, just the whole process
Yeah.
of it. You know, my sister just moved back from Seattle. Literally, the day that I believe that she came back was the day that it happened. So she was there to help me.
So you're just there,
Not only me going to New York City and everything, but, you know, I have a family at home, too.
Yeah, you're there with your kids.
So they're there with my kids, and they're in the best hands. And, you know, it just made us realize that, you know, the show will still go on without us there.
Yeah.
So which was good for our family to see, you know, because my kids didn't miss a beat. You know, I think they probably had more fun without us not there. You know, I'm serious.
Yeah, I know.
You
We tease about that all the time,
but it just made you look like, you know what, you know, we can leave them. We can.
Yes.
You know, that sounds kind of bad. You know, you can go out one
yeah.
night. You can, you know, have someone else come, and the kids are going to be okay.
Yeah.
If anything, it's probably better for them.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, it's just so crazy how all this has worked out. And I really, you know, Ryan and I are behind you for whatever you guys need.
Yep.
You know, we pray for you guys all the time. So if there's anything you need from us, please don't
No,
hesitate
I mean,
to reach out.
for what you guys have already done, it's unbelievable. And, you know, I plan once the store gets opening up, we are closed on Sundays for events, but to have a nice, you know, kick-ass event for everybody to come and because it's impossible for me to possibly thank everybody for what they've reached out, you know, from donations to text messages to someone who say hello. And, you know, a lot of people, they don't know how to handle it because they don't want to bombard me, which I completely respect. You know, so I've gotten everything from, you know, handwritten letters to calls to people stopping over, and, you know, people just messaged me the other day, hey, I didn't want to bombard you right away, I understand. And, you know, I don't take anything personal. I respect it because they're just coming at it from a positive approach.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's overwhelming to all the people.
So if you had, I know you've posted a couple things sharing, you know, your thoughts to people on, you know, slow down and don't take things for granted. If you had a message to tell everybody about, you know, how you're feeling about this whole thing, do you have anything you'd like to share?
probably the same message that I had going into this, which is just staying positive.
Yeah.
Whenever something in life happens, I've been blessed.
Yeah.
Very blessed, where nothing tragic has happened, and I guess this would be the most tragic thing right now. But just having a positive attitude with everything, because people have it so much worse. As mentioned, I was in New York City. You see some patients who they have what I have, but they've been sitting there for months, years, and not be able to get the treatment. Why am I so blessed where I got right in?
Yeah.
Granted, I've made some connections in my life. I've talked to some people, and I guess I'm kind of a likable guy. But it's some people just don't have that. So I do believe in the power of prayer.
Yeah.
I could feel it going. Forgive me if I repeat myself.
Yeah.
But going into surgery, I was not scared at all.
Yeah.
Nothing scared me about it. More my family than anyone, and comedy is kind of my medicine.
Yep.
So I always made jokes of things. But it's still my medicine. But not being scared, it was more just anxious. Let's just get this over with.
Yeah.
And the hardest part is recovering after, and it's mentally. Physical, the most pain I was in, 2, maybe 3 out of 10. The only medication I'm on now is really just a couple of seizure medicine, a blood thinner for the time being, and Tylenol.
Wow.
That's it. And that's all I feel I really need. I've never really took medication before. So my body adjusting to this was very difficult. Eating all the carbs and everything, just nonstop eating. But each day is getting better and better. Prior to this, 6 to 8 hour night sleeper. Now it's every 45 minutes to an hour and a half I'm up, which is an adjustment. But there's people who don't have problems, and that's how they sleep too. So the positivity, that's where I bring my mind, saying, I should just be grateful for what I'm having. And I do believe that makes the whole transition easier.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time to
Yep.
be on the show.
And thank you for everything too. I saw the gift baskets yesterday.
Yeah, I know, and you guys still have time to come down. So you're hearing it from Brian. You got 15 minutes to come down.
Yeah,
and
and
do
there's
the
a lot of
basket.
gift baskets.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming for everything, and I can't possibly thank everybody for what they have done. But I can show my appreciation and just do my best with it.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you. We love you.
Thank you.
And we, like I said, we're all here to support you. I know the community's here to support you. And thanks for being here today and coming
Thank you.
on.
And I'm not going anywhere.
Yep.
I'm here for the long haul.
You are here for the long haul. We're not letting anything else happen.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, we love you.
Thank you so much.
All
We
right.
love you too.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. And again, you guys can still come down here. Thank you so much to Brian for coming on. What a powerful story. And the way he's handling this is just amazing. So you guys can still come down. You have 15 minutes to get down here and do the baskets. You can come until 11, though, to make a donation. Even if you just want to come and check out what's going on here, check out the gym. There's so much going on. We've got people working out. They're going to start another heat here shortly in 15 minutes. So you still have time to come work out, too, if you want. And you don't even have to do the whole thing. You can just do a little bit. So I know we're going to try to see if we can get a couple more people on. I think the Bradleys were going to come on here somewhere. So we'll see if we can get Will or Mel on. And we've got the kids running around. Everybody's having a good time. It is family friendly, by the way. You can bring anybody down. There's pancakes, eggs, bacon, all kinds of food, Utica coffee. There's so much going on down here. So please come and join us. I think we're going to have Nick come on from Climb Chiropractic. Nick was also one of our guests with Ashley. If you guys didn't get a chance to check out that episode, it was a great episode that we did right at Climb Chiro. And we did yoga also Wednesday night here, which was super fun. So Nick, welcome.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
So if you didn't check out our episode with Nick and Ashley, we had a great time talking about Nick's previous job in a Pop-Tart factory. You know that's going to come. It comes up on every podcast you're on, right? So I had to bring it up again.
So like it was during the Super Bowl, they had a Pop-Tart commercial.
Yeah.
And I was like sitting there watching the Super Bowl, and I was like, I wonder how many people are making fun of me right now.
Yeah, everybody's thinking of Nick.
Everyone's making fun of me. Like I should never told anyone that.
Yeah, right? Oh my God, so crazy. It's such a good story, though.
No, it's a good story.
So go back and check out that episode if you're interested in hearing more about that.
Or don't. You don't have to. Like you don't have to. You can fast forward through that part, right?
Yeah,
it's
right.
fine.
So we are here doing the workout. Have you done the workout yet?
I did. At 9 a.m. one on the bike.
What'd you
actually.
think?
So I feel like I'm a little out of shape right now. Like around 4, I was like huffing and puffing.
The assault bike will make anybody feel out of shape.
Yeah.
I don't know if Todd's not behind the camera right now, but the bikes are all over here. If you've never seen one, it's like one of those.
It's like a Schwinn Airdyne.
Yeah, it's like the bike that powers the fan and like kind of blows everywhere while you're on it. And you're on it for like 5 seconds. You think, okay, this is not that bad. I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, if I fall, what way will I go?
There's nothing more exhausting than riding that bike. There really
Yeah.
isn't. I remember during the reindeer games competition here, it was just 45 seconds as far as you could go in that thing. And
Yeah.
after I got off after 45 seconds of exercising, I was like lightheaded and
Oh,
like sitting
it's
on the
terrible.
floor. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even work out for a minute right there even.
You want to cry.
Oh my gosh, I was shot, completely shot. Yeah. But it
so
was good. It was really good.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it. I was partners with Ashley during the workout.
Oh, it's
and
cool.
Ashley's like an insanely fast burpier. Like,
Oh,
she
I
does
can see
burpees
that.
So fast.
Yep.
Yeah. and
Yep.
So the whole time she's like pushing me off the bike so she can get back on it.
Oh
So
my God.
I was the laggard there in that one.
So
for sure.
funny. Yeah, she's. I could see her being a good
Yeah.
burpee, good
Very
burpee athlete.
Very good burpee athlete. Yeah.
So you got, and Ryan and I did hop in with him. We were having a few technical difficulties getting the show started with the
Yeah.
Wi-Fi and everything. So I did hop in for 6 rounds with
Did you?
Ryan.
Nice.
So
Good. Perfect.
admittedly, I did not do the
Yeah.
whole workout. I sweated like I did.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. I might have shaved a few reps here and there too.
I probably smell like I did the whole workout. So Nick, how long have you known Brian?
I've known Brian I've lived here for about 2 years now. I met Brian probably 6 months after I moved here. So
Okay,
yeah.
so you've known him pretty much the whole time
Yeah,
you've been
almost
here.
the whole time I've lived up here.
And you guys have a relationship with him through the Balance Chef and through coming through the gym, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I met Brian through the gym.
Yep.
Brian and I met. I don't know how we first met. Here in a class, probably actually.
Yep.
We were partners for a couple different times on Friday workouts and
Yeah.
whatnot, and then we run in like the same small business circle and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're both members of that group that meets on Sunday morning and discusses small business stuff
That's
and everything.
great.
So yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about not only, is it awesome to see the whole community down here too, but the fact that, John in Business supports other,
Absolutely,
businesses
yeah.
that are members, and we've kind of built this tight-knit community where
Absolutely,
everybody
yeah.
tries to help each other out outside of the gym as
Yeah,
well.
yep, for sure.
So I think that that's a really cool thing. And, while the show, I was mentioning earlier, we normally talk to chamber members about,
Yeah.
how they've leveled up to get to where they are in their career. Today's a little bit different because we're
Yeah,
here to
it's a different-
celebrate Brian
Yeah.
and just kind of share what that means to everybody to be here.
Well, I think that today is a good reminder of why you do the things you do. You know what I mean? Like John said earlier, like you can show up here and work out, and it's all well and good, and you can get
Yeah.
fit and healthy and all those things, but then you also build a family kind of outside of that where,
Yeah.
God forbid, tragedy happens or something happens. You have people who are supporting you. You have people who you can turn to, and you don't even have to turn to them because they're already there to support you and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like, you got to believe that, a community like this would get behind every single person in this room if they ended up in a similar situation.
Yeah,
So it's really kind of
absolutely.
cool. That's what I've said for a long time. That's the value in a place like this more than anything else is having that support system and that community and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, and of course there's plenty of fitness facilities around. I think
Yeah.
it's really just about finding, and I know Ashley's meditation at the end of yoga on Wednesday
Yeah.
night was just about like finding your tribe and
Yeah.
finding people that, are like-minded and
Yeah.
have the same values as you do. And
Yeah, it's extremely powerful to be able to find people who share the same values and share the same kind of interests that you do and everything like that. And she's read that one before, and I always forget how long it is. First of all,
Yeah.
because like you're laying there and she's just continuing reading. And like Ashley, so Ash became a yoga teacher because she wanted to become a better public speaker. So that was like literally the reason 3 or 4 years ago when she decided to become
I
a yoga
love
teacher.
that,
She
yeah.
wanted to be a better public speaker.
Yeah.
And she was during that speech that night. I was like, wow, she's crushing this right now. I feel like it
Yeah.
went on for like minutes on end.
she did a great job.
Yeah, she does. She does a good job. But yeah, I think that really does kind of sum it all up right there. That you are just the power of your community, and the power of your tribe. If you
Yeah.
didn't have something like this, going through something that Brian's going through right now, you'd have your family and your close friends and everything. But to have this many people behind you is incredible. So
Yeah.
it's really cool.
It's so awesome. And I mean, it of course, Brian is a member of the gym, and so I think it makes it even more special for all of us.
Yeah.
But John is constantly doing these for,
Yeah.
other organizations as well. I know we have the Heart Association
Yeah.
workout coming up. We're going to do the Row for Babies again for March
Yeah.
of Dimes. I mean, really, any member that has like a passion or
Yeah.
something that's close to them, John always supports it. And I
Yeah.
think that is just so cool.
Well, it's always a good moment to bring you back to earth and remember why you're doing what you're doing. It's bigger than just coming and doing burpees and riding a bike. Just hoping you get a 6-pack someday.
Yeah.
Like
Let's see.
Yeah, still not quite there.
Still
so.
not there. Maybe the pizza I ate last night and the ice cream was not a good
I did have a
idea.
couple pieces of French toast post-workout today in the back, so that probably didn't help. But,
That's impressive.
but irregardless, that's the reason,
Yeah.
and it really, really is kind of that. So
Yeah.
that's why from the moment I met John and met the crew here and everything like that, I could sense that it was bigger than just the exercise component.
Yeah,
you know?
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
It's,
How long have you been here now?
I've been. So I was sharing earlier that when Peter was born,
Yeah.
so in 2017, he was born in August.
Yeah.
When I kind of, we had a long maternity leave scenario because of him being in the NICU, but when he came home, And then when I started going back to work the following March, I really was just feeling like super, super anxious about, God, I pretty much had been, in and out of the hospital, with him, and I really just needed something to kind of get me back into the fitness
like
side
the
of
motivation
things.
kind of thing. Yeah.
But I also recognized that it wasn't going to be an easy thing for me to just like go back to a gym and like have the motivation and know what to do myself.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Jen and I said, Jen, listen, I know you and John have this great community there. Like I really feel like I need help. I'm not going to be able to do this alone.
Yeah.
Jen and John reached out to me, and they had a 6-week challenge going on.
Oh, nice. Good.
So a lot of people don't know this, but I actually started coming here before Ryan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm still, he did get Athlete of the Month before
I was
me.
going to say, Ryan's like the poster child
But
now,
geez,
too.
I mean, God, he does. He
hint,
is.
hint, John. Hint, hint.
That's okay. Ryan is much more regimented than I am. So anyway, so I started coming to Mohawk Valley Fitness.
Yeah.
So for those who aren't familiar with the gym, fitness is it's the CrossFit without the barbell.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more approachable for people who, really maybe have dabbled in fitness before, but, this is kind of more of an approachable way to come into the gym.
I think ultimately it's just less intimidating, right? Because you can actually, it seems more comprehensible. It's less, that's less risk involved with it. There's no like high risk maneuvers or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. And everything's scalable. And so I really was comfortable coming in with that. So I did the 6-week challenge. I knew after being here for like 2 weeks, like I'm never going to go to another gym. Like I just knew it. Of course I support other facilities and stuff, but I just knew this would always be my place.
Yeah.
So I started coming, and then Ryan joined probably 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
But every day I would come home and he'd be like, so what was the workout today? So what was it today? Oh, that sounds terrible. Oh, that sounds horrible. And I'm like, you just have to come and do it. And like once you do it and you're done, that's what I love about it. Like whether it be Mohawk Valley Fitness or CrossFit, you just come. The coaches tell you what to do, and you're out in an hour, and then you're on with your day.
And it's so cliche, but Ashley and I do the same thing where we talk about our workouts that evening and our workouts. So we'll sit there. I'm like, when's the last time we talked about something else?
Yeah.
Like, do we have anything else in common even? Or we just do like yoga and CrossFit and go to bed?
And she crushes you in burpees.
Yeah, she crushes me. And just about everything she crushes me, but especially burpees.
Yeah, right. So, it kind of became a thing for us, and we were talking earlier on the show about, like, we say it's life-changing. I mean, it really did change our lives.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
The positive community and just the positive, like, reinforcement that we got from joining here, it was just, it translated across everything.
And if you think about it, what else would you be doing this morning? I would have woke up, drank some coffee, or like maybe went for a run or went to the gym, but then just came home and did some lunch, like normal Saturday things. So having an experience like this on a Saturday morning is really a kind of a unique thing, I think. And,
it is.
And you can attest to this. Like, this is not dissimilar from a lot of other Saturdays. A lot of you have similar energy, you have similar sized crowds, you have your friends and whatnot, like all that kind of stuff. It's really, really nice and really motivational. For myself, being someone who's like moved a lot, and like I'm not from here or anything, so like I grew up 6-7 hours from here, so it's very cool for me to come in here and have people know who I am, and I know who they are, and it's fun.
Exactly, and then you run into them outside of the gym too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we even have kids running around here. I think we're going to try to grab one of the Bradleys to come over and say a few words before we close out the show, because we are coming up on 10:30.
Oh, is it really?
We're going to do there's going to be the last heat of the workout. We're going to do the raffle baskets and the 50-50.
Nice.
And we keep promoting for people to come down, and it's not too late. You still have a little bit of time to come down. Even if we've done the basket raffles, you can still make a donation. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's probably some breakfast back there.
Yeah, there's definitely
still.
some breakfast. And get down for the basket raffles. There's some great stuff back there.
God.
Honestly, like I bought a ton of tickets, so if you're going to do it, stay out of the Saranac basket, because I loaded that one up. So maybe go somewhere else.
And that was a late ad too. Aaron Mack came through big time with that one.
I looked at that one. I was like, okay, I see you, Saranac basket. Yeah.
We have close to 40 different baskets that were donated from all different members of the community. So many people really pulled through on those. I mean, we have everything from gift certificates to multiple places. There's a great Saranac basket. I mean, there's some things that are valued at like $300-400 out there. Delmonico's did a beautiful one. I mean, there's just
I dropped
so
a few in the
many.
McGrogan Designs bucket.
Oh, yeah. You can win a logo. You can win a logo from Ryan. So there's a lot of great things going on down here. So it's not too late to come down. And, of course, as we've been encouraging you guys, you can also check out the ChefStrong Facebook page. There's other ways to donate on there. And you can also follow Brian's journey, which, again, we've said is so inspiring. It's just really, it's so tough sometimes to comprehend things like this happening to people who are, so healthy and so positive all the time. You just think, why does this happen? Brian has taken this in such stride, and it's so inspiring to see. So you guys have a lot of ways to get involved. It doesn't end today. And we will, of course, do our best to keep
Yeah.
promoting everything that is going on with Brian and Cynthia so you guys can keep updated and also support them on this journey. So, Nick, thank you so much for
No problem.
being on
Thank
with
you.
me.
Thank you, everyone.
And I'm going to try to. Oh, the Bradleys are doing a nice photo op.
Want me to
we
flag
have
them
to
down?
get. Yeah, we have to get at least Will on here because Will
grab 'em.
loves being on podcasts. So
Thanks, everyone.
we're gonna have. Yeah, thanks, Nick. And we're just gonna have, I think, Will on quickly, and then we will wrap up the show because we're gonna get ready to do our basket raffles here. I just want to give a shout out also to Z and to Todd from Disruption Network for coming down this morning. I know it's tough to get out of bed on a Saturday morning, and these guys do such an awesome job with everything with Disruption Network. So just want to give them a shout out and thank them for their support for coming down. And they love doing all types of events like this to support the community. So we appreciate all their support as well. And again, John has done a great
Mag.
job. You're welcome. You're welcome. I know. I forgot you have
I'm
a
gonna be your
headphone on. We
I'm
can
gonna be your
chat here,
co-host
too.
from the side.
Yeah.
How's that?
What? Yeah, I wanted Mel or Will to come on, so. Okay. All right. Well, I don't think we're going to hear from the Bradleys then. So, Z, you want to wrap up the show with me here? And we'll just, again, remind you guys how to get a hold of everything. So you can catch this show anytime on disruptionnetwork.net. If you've never heard of these guys, there's a lot of different podcasts that they do. There's a lot of great shows on there. So you can go check out that. You can check out the shows afterwards on our Facebook or on our website, greateruticachamber.org. Of course, on all of our Facebook pages, Disruption Network, Greater Utica Chamber. We'll have this posted to the ChefStrong page. Z, anything you want to add before we close out here? What do you think?
Meg, first of all, thank you for getting us involved with all this. Just the whole community and family atmosphere that's going on here at Mohawk Valley Wellness is truly remarkable. It's met some cool people, and it's cool to see everybody come out for such a great cause and support somebody. And I don't know Brian personally, but you could tell how loved he is just in these four walls right now.
Absolutely. It's so cool to see. We love doing stuff like this too. I just want to say a shout out to Brian and Cynthia and their entire family. Again, we are here to support you guys, whatever you need. It's just so awesome to see the community coming out, and we will be behind you guys. And again, you're an inspiration. I feel like I've said that 50 times on this show, but I'm going to keep saying it because they really are. So everybody, please keep Brian and Cynthia and their family in your prayers. And also, again, remember the places to follow, which are ChefStrong. And also, you can check out all the updates from today. I'm sure on the ChefStrong Workout for a Cause page, we'll have all that stuff posted too. You can see all the basket raffles on there as well, just in case you want to check out to see what people donated. It's a little too late to partake in it now, but just want to give a shout out to everybody who has donated to the event this morning.
Who donated the food?
The food came from Riverside Diner next door here.
Thank you, Riverside Diner, for feeding me today.
It's awesome. Heather and Frank donated coffee from Utica Roasting. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. A&P did our awesome shirts here. Shout out to Amanda and Howard. So really, this whole community has come together to put on this great event. So Brian, Cynthia, we are praying for you and thinking of you. And thanks to everybody who came down today. And we will see you on Leveling Up next time. Have a good day.